lot of things to do, a lot of waiting to do, which means we are here going to... never mind. Let me get coffee first. I'll be back. Today, I am on a one-day fast. I've been doing one-day fast for quite a long while. It has seemed to lower my blood sugar, which is good. I didn't really have a good night's sleep yesterday. I don't know, I felt a little tossy and turny yesterday. I seem to have a lot more energy these days, especially all the runs that I'm doing, and also good sleep, good eating. Fasting is also helping. Everything is top tier, and it seems that as I lose the weight, I get healthier, therefore I feel less tired. And yesterday was the pinnacle of that, where I went to bed 9:30 normal, and after that I just could not fall asleep. I know I was sleeping consciously because I had to wake up a few times yesterday. There was a very big thunderstorm which kind of shut off the whole house, and the fan was off, and I was like, whoa, that's hot, therefore I think it is power trip. So anyway, we turned that on at 4 a.m. and then after that I went back to sleep. After I went back to sleep, I didn't feel like I was sleeping. I felt that I was waking up and sleeping and that kind of thing. I don't know, my body is changing. I feel that a lot of my life is changing. It feels like I'm reborn again. Also, I've just been reading this new book that I got. It's called Black Box Thinking. I picked this up because it sounded cool. Because I was like, let me see how I can be transformed by this book. And it's about failure, which I think is a great concept. Something I took from this book is how the aviation industry kind of releases the failures to all other pilots to show how, what happened. And so basically they don't do the same thing again. And this is quite inspiring in a sense, a good reminder for me, because a lot of times we look at failure as, the concept of failure as being a cliche. They also say this at the start of the book, where we say like, yes, failure is actually good because you get a feedback loop to say what you have done wrong, therefore you can improve from that. But a lot of people tend to neglect the idea of a failure and just brush it off as just like, oh, it's a singularity. It's something that only happens once, so we're not gonna, look into it kind of thing. That's as far as I've read into the book. There's still a lot more to go, and this is something that I find very interesting. Another example of where I have learned failure from was a book, The 12-Week Year, how essentially people don't get a lot of things done when you plan an entire year. You only get things done when you plan 12 weeks, and that is your entire year, which is essentially 3 months. Something I learned in that book is how you strategize to fail. You have your goals that you set within each and every week that you kind of have to hit, and you will also think about the failures that you will encounter, and from the failures that you will encounter, you will identify strategies to kind of get over the failures that you might encounter, so you are able to reach your goals and do the work, essentially that. For example, let's say you want to study for 12 hours and you think about the failures like, oh, I'm going to be distracted from my phone, my friend is going to come into my room and then I'm going to be distracted, I suddenly am going to think about all these other things, I feel very tired, very sleepy, that kind of thing. So the strategies that you're going to employ to this is like, oh, I'm going to silence my phone, put it in another room, I'm going to make sure I'm studying deep into the night because I'm a night owl, and that's the best time because none of my friends are going to sort of like disturb me. I'm going to sleep more in the morning because I can, have more energy at night, so I can, study, that kind of thing. So essentially this is the idea of thinking about failure before it actually happens, and this is how it can help you to sort of like reach success in the future. And how does it relate into my life? I feel that the way that I have been moving about into life with this very high level of like, hey, let's have failure. The faster I fail, the faster I understand where I'm going. Like if I go into a maze, I would like to know each and every roadblock so I know what's the best direction to go at. One thing I would say that will really add to this is self-awareness and also trying to reflect on where you have gone wrong. A lot of people take failure as this end of the world kind of thing, which it's something that society, I believe, has really put on everyone, because as you grow up as a student, you have grades. If you fail that, you are the worst student, you're a failure. You have like, you know, you're not gonna be set up for the future. If you kind of have, you know, do badly at your job, you're a failure. We don't want you. You know, we'll fire you. You go and find your own job because you're a failure at life, so on and so forth. Then you compare your other people and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things to it. But how I've been taking failure these days is understanding that, one, every time I have some sort of setback, I need to rectify the problem, sure, but I need to reflect on it heavily, why it, you know, became to be. This book also says that, you reflecting on why it came to be. They have the whole investigation team open to self-disclose why, you know, planes go down, and then under the case study of like aviation, why planes go down, what went wrong, why was the pilot like this, and then everyone gets interrogated and like really find out why, and then they kind of like don't do that in the future, kind of thing. So that has been a very staple in my life, where I have constant reflection. So going back to the model of the idea of being in a maze and, you know, going through it, if I'm going through every roadblock, I would be sure to write like an X or have some marking to show that, oh, I've already walked through here, or like some sunflower seeds to say like, oh, this is the right track. This is something that I did when I was playing Minecraft. You know, I was going through all the tunnels and in the mine shaft, and then it's like, oh, that's a roadblock. Okay, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to use the wood that they kind of like built the stilts to hold up the cobblestone, to use that and build like a little hole to say like, build like a little wall to say like, okay, let's not go down there, I've already gone down there, then I move on to the next place. It was so fun. Okay, I'm just diverging, but the main concept of today is understanding that failure is actually part of success. I've said this multiple times. How to get over failure is trying to just learn from it. That's the biggest thing. This video is getting a bit long. We're going to end it off right here. I am just going to carry on with my day, and yeah, moral of the story is failure is good. Go for it, embrace it. That's all to say for today. Hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you learned something from today. Write down in the comments below what you learned, or what do you guys think of failure. I would like to see your point of view. Maybe you have something different from me. Maybe you have a different, you know, something you learned something else from another book, which I also want to read. So I want to add to my Goodreads list. Other than that, my name is NickyAdopt, and I will see you guys on the next adventure. Goodbye.